Will 2023 be a good time to buy a home? Here's 5 things to watch out for and some tips if you want to buy a home next year. What's up, everybody? Moki here. I'm a realtor in Northern Virginia. Thank you for stopping by the channel. You've been here before. Glad to have you again. Your first time, welcome to the channel. Want to remind you that your phone is your friend, so hit your boy up. You've got my contact information in the description, as well as my link tree. You can get a hold of me however you want that works for you. I got your back if you're thinking of moving, relocating, or doing anything real estate related here in Northern Virginia. So today we're talking about whether 2023 will be a good year to buy a home. And it's important to talk about this now because 2022 has been a year that very few people expected. And in fact, the last 3 years have been real estate going the way that very few people expected, throwing the real estate market on its head, and now we're trying to figure out how do we move forward. So today we're going to talk about 5 things to watch out for. And the first thing we're going to talk about is probably the number one factor that's affecting home buyers this year is the interest rates. Now, interest rates may rise, but what I think is going to happen, they're probably going to stall out or decrease as the fight against inflation sees positive results, more positive results. It's no secret that mortgage rates have been rising and really have been responding to what the Fed is doing with inflation. And at the end of this, right now where we're at, end of 2022, it seems like their initiatives are having a positive result where inflation is coming down. And so next year, as the results continue to be more positive than not, rates will continue to come down. And I don't think that by the end of 2023, I don't think it's inconceivable that rates will be somewhere in the 5.5 range. I wouldn't see that being totally out of the question. In terms of trends, I think the rates will respond positively as long as the fight against inflation also sees positive results. The second thing to expect is that rent rates will increase next year as well. Now, I'm not one of those people that says, hey, don't rent, buy. Clearly, this year has been very difficult for a lot of people who want to do it but can't. What I'm saying is I want to give you the information so that you can prepare so that you know what you're getting yourself into. So there are 2 increases which are really the same, 2 sides of the same coin. It's new leases and existing leases that are being renewed. Now, existing leases are the ones that try and catch up to the new rates, the new leases that are being signed, which is how rent rates increase. Typically around 3% increase is not totally out of the question. By May, you can expect rates, now following the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas's forecast, to be about 8% at the peak. And overall, year over year, by the end of next year, rent rates will increase probably a grand total of about 5%. The third thing to watch out for is that home prices will most likely continue to drop, but they won't be dropping as quickly as they were the second half moving into the latter half of this year. As the fight against inflation reached its most feverish pitch, mortgage rates rose so high that it really was trying to bring downward pressure on home prices by decreasing the amount of demand, the amount of people that are out there looking for homes. And really that's what home prices need in order to stay high or not to drop very fast, is to have the supply and demand, have a high number of demand, a low supply, and it keeps prices going up. But you have a low demand and the supply remains somewhat the same or continues to increase, prices begin to drop as you start. All that means is that the more homes there are on the market and not as many buyers on the market, the competition comes in the supply line where homes now are seeing more days on market. So current listings are competing against new listings. And what that does is that it decreases the range of an acceptable market value for a home, which means that you can't just price your home for whatever you want it to be and expect that a buyer is going to buy. So the acceptable market range is very low. And in fact, what's happening then is a lot of people are underpricing their home just below market value, the market value range, so that they can sell their home. The goal now is to get your home sold and not to sit forever. And the long-term effect of that is that today's closings become tomorrow's comparables. So homes selling next year will have comps of the homes that have sold this year rather than the comps that has sold 2 years ago. And the fourth thing to watch out for is somewhere between what I just talked about, what will be the last point, is talking about distressed properties. A lot of people are talking about foreclosure waves. I mean, foreclosure wave has been, people have been expecting one for probably the last 2 years, and it hasn't come. And really, one of the reasons is obviously the amount of equity that people have in their homes. Another reason is that more people that are buying homes now are walking into strong or stronger equity positions. So home buyers are more qualified, homes have more value. But what we're seeing is that the delinquency rate is having a small uptick in 2022, but it's not going to be enough to create something of a foreclosure wave where you're seeing a lot of distressed properties, a lot of properties that are coming on the market at below market value. But what you can see, what could be seen, and this depends on the markets, is more properties that may not be at the investor level of distress, but they are, we like to call them motivated sellers, people who are below market value, but still within the range or just below the range that are willing to sell, but they're not going to be in entirely distressed positions where it's going to have, you're not going to have these discount homes the way that people have been expecting. And the last point is this: home supply will depend on the migration patterns in different regions. Regions in the country that are going to have high out migration, people leaving, but low in migration, people coming in, are going to see prices drop and continue to correct. Whereas places that have high in migration, people coming in, and low out migration, people leaving out, are going to see prices that continue to stabilize or remain steady, and also are going to have less inventory. So the more people that leave and their homes are for sale, you have more inventory. Places that you don't have as many people leaving, you're going to have lower inventory. And the thing to consider is that sellers markets are where you have more competition. So there are still homes that are selling above list price, that are having multiple offers. That's something that's still happening and can happen, as well as you're going to be seeing less competition, more days on market, especially in places with high out migration, where you can be able to come in lower than list price. Gets more seller concessions are going to become more common next year. So overall, the situation is going to become more favorable, at least in the sense that it's not going to be overwhelmingly favoring one side or just one small sliver or one small strand of people that can possibly buy. There are going to be more people that are going to be available to purchase homes. So the question about whether you should buy a home in 2023 or wait is yes, depending on, if you look at all the factors in your market, if you look at all the factors of your finances, if you look at your life and you say that, hey, I can do this, then it's a good time. But the time to buy is always right when it's right for you. And if that's you, go ahead, hit me up below, shoot me a text, give me a call. My number's down in the description. Get my calendar, get on a 30-minute discovery call, and we can talk about what exactly you're looking for, what do you want to do, and how we can perhaps strategize a way forward for you step by step. That's all I got for you guys. Subscribe, join the team, join the channel. It'd be great to hear from you. What do you think about 2023? Do you want to buy next year? What's been holding you back? What questions do you have about the market going next year? Hit me up in the comments below and we can talk about it. That's all I got. It's always real from me to you. Until the next time, take care.